relieved the administration is continuing to pause repayment of all his student loans. Adam Carolla.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get it on. No choice but to get on. Mandate you get it on. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for telling a friend. We love that about you, right, Gina Grad?
That's right.
And Bald Brian.
You know what? I really don't need this right now. Like, I'm in a lot of pain.
All right. Well, on the cartoon news front.
Oh, boy.
We have a situation that we figured out last night or yesterday afternoon when we all went out to lunch for Matt's The Porcelain Punisher's farewell lunch before he packs up and heads to Texas.
It was deliciously sad.
Deliciously sad. So we have not got into this, I guess. Matt, who's been here for forever, is picking up with his wife and moving it out to Texas, a little outside of Austin. I think many Californians are starting to think that way now. I'd like to buy something, afford something, a little cost of life. Kind of getting into there's a thing that, you know, in California, it was always a given that the cost of life was more, but the lifestyle was so much better that you'd put up with it.
You're paying for the sunshine and the good living.
Yeah, the crime and the homelessness and the garbage everywhere and all that kind of stuff. Traffic, it's starting to catch up to people. And also, as I've always said, if it's got a P.F. Chang's, I could live there. And I've never done more traveling where I've went, yeah, I could live here. I mean, you go to Nashville and you walk around and you sit at a bar and you go listen to music and you go, Jesus, I could do this.
Myself. Yeah, and Matt not only has like a nice piece of land, there's a crick. He's got a crick in the back.
And I've never heard any stories of people going, I moved away, I hated it, and so I came back. I've not heard one of those.
No.
I've just heard people go to Nashville or
Sounds
Utah
of tires
or Austin,
screeching.
and they go, there's a lot of I wish I'd done it earlier. So unfortunately, that's where we're at. But Ryan, young Ryan, was explaining to me during the lunch that he got himself a Grape Ape outfit that he bought online, and that he bought the Grape Ape outfit because there was going to be a Sid and Marty Krofft convention.
Yes, in the
Bay Area. Mm-hmm. And that he was going to attend as Grape Ape.
Yeah, that's my bad. I remember you talking about like Land of the Lost and like always talked about Grape Ape, throwing that in there, and then I don't know. I looked up what Grape Ape looked like because I needed a costume, and I was like, I could pull that off. I just need a purple
You're a big
suit.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if anyone remembers Grape Ape, that's all Grape Ape did. And they would just take animals like hare and bear and grape and ape. And they had the, I'm trying to think of the other stupid speed buggy. It was like a dune buggy. He was a giant ape and he just walked around and said Grape Ape. Now, Hong Kong Phooey. I don't know. None of these were Sid and Marty Krofft creations. Okay. That's the problem. These are Hanna-Barbera.
There's one creatively named Beagle.
Yeah, they just took a word that started with the same letters, the other word, and then they do Jabba Jaw.
Right, Magilla Gorilla.
Yeah, they just put a word in front of another word, and then we'd sit there and our brains would liquefy while we sat home and watched these shows. At least I would. That's all I had was cartoons. I did not read. I did not do comic books. I did not do baseball playing cards. I deemed G.I. Joes and scouting is for the gays. I was like, this is the gayest activity. You playing with a boy doll feels gay to me, and going and getting a merit badge feels gay to me too. So none of it. But I did have cartoons, and I would just sit home and watch whatever offerings they had, and it was dominated by Hanna-Barbera.
You could have been a kick-ass Eagle Scout. That is a missed opportunity in your life.
I could have.
Things turned out okay, you know what I'm saying? In the early years,
but who was going to help him with the soapbox derby and all that stuff?
And then,
being in the woods alone, making a fire, that's what it was made for.
My mom having to go out to the lawn and hammer in the sign that said home of an Eagle Scout.
There's no dead mother.
Come on now. So he got the Grape Ape outfit, but he's going to the Sid and Marty Krofft. Now, the Sid and Marty Krofft convention I get because everything they did was a wacky outfit.
Right.
Is this like going to the Genesis concert wearing a Rolling Stone shirt? You don't wear the T-shirt of the band.
Yeah, maybe he's being the cool guy by doing this. The outlier.
We can read you the description of the event. We'll see if he's going to fit in with his Grape Ape outfit, which once again is Hanna-Barbera.
KrofftCon is the first ever con dedicated to the talents of Sid and Marty Krofft. This will be a 70s kid's dream.
The worst part of my childhood. Sigmund and the Sea Monsters is like the worst piece of assembled art ever. You can go back to 1930s Nazi propaganda, and I would give it the nod over Sigmund and the Sea Monsters.
You'd give the Nazis propaganda poster of a Jew a better rating.
Well, look, I somewhat disagree with the message.
Somewhat.
But
He said disagree.
But in terms of artistic ability and message conveyed,
sketch art alone,
gotta give the nod to the Nazis.
Okay.
This is the Land of the Lost was horrifically bad. Then there was Lidsville. There's H.R. Puffin stuff. The only good thing, if you can get the Hoodoo Gurus ready, the only good thing that came out of Sid and Marty Krofft is Charles Nelson Riley in Lidsville, I think, played a character called the Hoodoo Guru.
Okay.
And the Hoodoo Guru...
This is the good part?
Yes, because a band was inspired to take that name. The Hoodoo Gurus.
Oh, didn't know
Used
that.
to be played on K-Rock in the late 80s, early 90s. Had two big hits, or two good hits that I remember. We can play a little
local
of it.
band? Never
I
heard
think
of the
they're
Hoodoo
from
Gurus.
Boston for some reason.
They're Australian.
Australian.
Oh.
All right, so that's the Hoodoo Gurus, who must be named after Charles Nelson Riley's character,
Even better.
who was in Lidsville or H.R. Puff and stuff. I cannot. There was a witchy poo, and it was all a fucking shit show mess with a big fat laugh track shoved into it.
But don't forget the other band that came out of there that you loved. The Banana Splits.
Oh yeah, now wait a minute. Is that Sid and Marty?
Oh,
Yeah,
I
it
just
must
assumed
be.
it was.
Yeah, that's probably Sid and Marty Krofft.
I'm seeing that the guy's name was Horatio J. Hoodoo. I'm not seeing Guru after that, but he was a magician.
What?
So, hold on. This is Charles Nelson Riley's.
Yeah. His name, the magician's name is Horatio J. Hoodoo. I'm not seeing Guru or like that Hoodoo Gurus were named after that at all either.
Well, they called him the Hoodoo Guru in the thing.
Better Google him right, man.
Gotta Google me right, man. So, the Hoodoo Gurus weren't named after him, or may not have been named after him, but he was a magician.
How many times have we learned not to trust the computer?
Well, it's who's working the computer that I take umbrage with.
Yeah.
But
So
all
me and-
right,
is
So
the-
me and Chris?
Google me right.
Is the gun inherently evil?
That's
You want
right.
to hear? Here's Horatio J. Hoodoo's character description. He's an evil magician who serves as the primary antagonist.
Just say
of the
magician.
series.
They're all
Hey,
evil.
how dare you? Most of his plans involve trying to prevent Mark from leaving Lidsville and attempting to reclaim Weenie.
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
Is Weenie the flute? Oh, anyway, now we have to figure out where they said Hoodoo Guru. And then where did the Hoodoo Gurus get their name then?
Weenie was the genie in the show.
Oh,
course
Weenie's
it was.
the genie. That's right. It's my because if it's the flute, it'd be named Frank.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
that was the brilliance
Right.
of Hanna-Barbera or Sid and Marty Krofft. So anyway, you're going to show up at this place. People are going to be dressed up like the Hoodoo Guru or just a hoodoo.
Well, I mean, at this point, I feel like I have to dress up as Grape Ape going there. But I mean, I'm open to audibling.
No, I'd say we've come this far with Grape Ape. We stay
the course.
Stay the course with Grape Ape. So you're going to talk. I'm trying to think now. Who are we going to see the most people dressed like? Chicks want to get sexy, but these chicks are a little long in the tooth for sexy. Sigmund is a little tough outfit. It's going to be hot.
Yeah.
In that.
Were there any like short skirts in HR Puff and stuff?
No, but Freddie the flute. Oh, yeah. What's Freddie the flute? Yeah, that's right. The kid who owned Freddie the flute, the magical flute, all you need is bell bottoms and some Beatle boots and a vest, and you can cover him outfit-wise. Jesus Christ. I had to drive a truck into that place. There should be a class action lawsuit against these fucking hacks.
Is this kind of like your free Raiders tickets?
Yes. Anyone who shows up there needs to be rounded up.
Round 'em up.
Your horrible spouse, husband, wife, father, mother, something is wrong with you, unless you're dressed like Grape Ape.
Ooh, what about Shirley Puffin stuff? She's attractive. She looks like she looks like a cross between Ronald McDonald and Rocky Dennis.
Rocky Dennis, the fucking disfigured kid with the mask?
Yeah.
I say there's going to be a lot of witchy poos showing up over there. So you have more of a description, by the way, Chris?
Yeah, so it's at the historic Orinda Theater, which will be transformed into Living Island. Come meet your favorite stars that you watched each Saturday morning while eating a bowl of cereal from your TV tray. And yes, cereal will be served here.
This thing. I was lamenting about safe spaces for 19-year-olds. This is a fucking bizarre cosplay fantasy for 56-year-olds. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Should be on a watch list.
They need to be rounded up or at least an ankle bracelet applied to them.
The real indictment, I feel like I mentioned this before, but the real indictment of Sid and Marty Krofft is I started watching TV as a young boy 10 years after this, whatever it was, 9, 10, 11 years. Nary an idea of what this was. Never heard of it until you mentioned it. Never had an idea of what any of this was. For a kid's show or thing not to last 10 years. I mean, we're still fucking celebrating Spider-Man and Batman. You know what I mean? Like, for now not to survive 10 years is a real indictment.
No legs, all junk, force-fed, 3 networks. What are you going to do? Are Sid and Marty alive? Is either one of them alive? There also were they were kind of Ben and Jerry. They're like these kind of acid-dropping hippies.
The hippie type.
Yeah, who just brought their weird, mushroom haze to the stage, to the TV for kids.
Do you guys remember in the 90s on MTV Wonder Chosen? Because looking back, I'm pretty sure that's what this was. That's what that was based on. It was supposed to be a spoof of Sid and Marty Krofft.
Oh, well, it's easy to do. Yes.
Sid and Marty are alive.
Oh.
Sid's 92
Maybe
and
they'll be
Marty
there.
is 84.
Oh.
And
Will they be there?
No, they won't. So the day will include episodes, Q&As, lectures. There's a
Q&A with who?
I'll tell you. There's a costume contest for Ryan to lose, trivia games, and then you can meet the stars from your favorite Krofft shows. Like, these are confirmed guests: Butch Patrick from Lidsville,
Of course.
Wesley Ure and Kathy Coleman from Land of the Lost, Johnny Whitaker.
Oh,
He's gonna be
Johnny.
there from Sigmund and the Sea Monsters.
He's the redhead.
Yep.
Sure.
Sharon Baird from HR Puffin Stuff. She's also Land of the Lost as well. Plus, special Krofft alumni guest, Christopher Knight
Oh,
from the Brady Bunch.
Brady
Hour.
Bunch?
that's a draw.
Jesus
The
Christ.
Puffin Stuff movie will be shown at the end of the evening to close out this fun-filled day of nostalgia and fond memories.
What are they paying these has-beens? Is it $1,200 and a round-trip plane ticket?
I think
what
you
are
have
they
to
paying these people?
You have to pay to get an autograph,
I
so
was gonna
it might just be free.
Yeah, it might just be
Like
door.
Butch Patrick is from Eddie Munster, right?
Yeah, but I don't know what he did on. I was all right. If
Lidsville.
If you want to know, I don't even know what he
He was
played
Mark
on
on
Lidsville.
Lidsville.
If you want to know me at my most Adam-y ever, the most Adam I've ever been in my life was all those years ago when I was on the lot for CBS Radford, and we're working on a sitcom, and we're walking to the sitcom with their showrunner, and he's just one of these Hollywood guys who knows everything, and he stopped us. We're like walking into the cafeteria, and he goes, "You know whose office that is across there?" I go, "No, Sid and Marty Krofft." They're at the time they're like 82 years young and still going at it. And then he's like, "I know those guys. I could introduce you to those guys. We could go in there and say." And I go, "Fuck those guys, fuck those fucking hacks." And what the fuck are they working on in that? They're dusting off. They're They haven't done a new piece of art since the world caught on to them, and there was more than 3 networks. They're working on some sort of re-fucking boot, some regurgitation of Land of the Lost, or some Sigmund in the Sea. All they're doing is working on shit from 1974 and how to fucking force feed it down the mouth of a new generation who don't want it in the first place. And he's like, okay, all right, fine.
So you don't want to go?
We don't want to go in there. It's like, fuck those guys. And then we went into the cafeteria, and then at some point, one of the Sid or Marty Kroffts, I think, came into the cafeteria, and then he walked up to us, and then the guy who wanted to introduce, and they were talking, and it was uncomfortable.
You don't say.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Only it could have been better if he's a big fan of yours. Hey, Adam Carolla.
Nacho!
We got more event descriptions. When is this going down? I'm now intrigued.
It's next month, May 21st. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we'll send Ryan out there. We'll see how it is. We'll get a first-hand account.
Going to interview some people.
We're going to do Nerd Walk.
We are doing Nerd Walk.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
do
okay.
whatever you want. I mean, I was going to add to this. What makes it weird is it's in Orinda, California, which is like a town over from where I was born. It's just a small, affluent community. The only thing I can think is that like a bunch of Berkeley hippies like through the tunnel are going to come up. I don't know who is.
Orinda's
the
a
draw.
weird place to have something like this.
Yeah. Well, again, it's them simply trying to get paid another time for some shit that should have never made the air in 1976.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Did you know there was a Krofft Superstars package?
Yes.
And the Bugaloos
What
were
does
on
that
it?
mean?
Yeah, the Bugaloos.
I'm
Yeah.
just reading this nightmare.
Bugaloos were like some English pop band or
Right.
something. Also,
Insect themed.
I told
Jesus Christ.
Bugaloo. Yeah. Oh, they made it into the Walk of Fame in 2020. Oh, Hanna-Barbera is not much better, but Hanna-Barbera may have done some things that were mildly entertaining, and they very much influenced Seth MacFarlane.
Sure.
So
Good
at
enough.
least we got Seth MacFarlane. But
Yeah.
think about the cornucopia of animated possibilities for a kid today.
Oh.
There's
Oh my
so
God.
much good shit out
Literally.
there. I was just fucking sitting in front of that black and white TV watching Sid and Marty Krofft and Lidsville, and just was like, whoa. Oh.
Tessa literally will just scroll through Netflix and just pick up some random thing, and half like she was just watching. I don't know if the little ones pays any attention to like there's like DC superhero girls like
Yes.
Batgirl. And all this.
we've seen them all.
but they're animated.
Yes,
and they're like
they
they're
kind of look
high-
like Bratz dolls.
and it's legitimately funny.
Yeah,
like,
it's pretty
I'm
good.
laughing.
We've
I'm like,
seen
this
them.
is very clever. Like I had no idea it even existed. And here it is.
DreamWorks puts out these series. I'm telling you, I've seen Kipo more times than I could count. There's some amazing offerings.
Well, in the insult department, I told you guys at lunch, but I should share it with the listeners. Sonny's at the age where he likes to insult his dad
This is good.
constantly about everything comedy that I do. He's just, feels like it's his job.
Sure.
Maybe he's taking a cue from the other residents of the home that it's good to keep me. It's a chip off the old block with the Helen Gorog, my
Sure.
grandma's. Like,
Feels right, honestly.
I don't want to see you getting a big head. Yeah, you don't want to feel good about myself?
Keep me tethered to reality.
Thank you, Grandma. I shall carry this low self-esteem way beyond your grave.
Done.
This will be awesome. Thank you very much. But he's deputized himself to keep me down a couple of notches, and we're scrolling through the many, many offerings on the TV in the theater the other night. I said, let's watch a movie. And we came across Raising Arizona.
The best.
And I said, oh, this is good. Sonny, you like movies. You're going to like Raising Arizona. And we were watching it, and he really enjoyed it. It's funny, and it's as you remember it. And then at some point, Sam McMurray popped up. He was the friend who wanted to swing. Mm-hmm. And he was really a tour de force in this thing. He showed up, lots of funny lines, really stole the scenes.
She's Tiger in bed. Tiger.
He was, just everything he said was funny. And Mordecai, watch yourself.
Mind you don't cut yourself, Mordecai.
Everything was funny about Sam McMurray. And Sonny's
Hit the deck, boy.
Sonny's at that age where he's like, who's that guy? Well, that guy. And you know this guy. And you recognize that guy. But he said, Sam McMurray. He said, that's funny. I go, yeah, he is a funny guy. And then he said, I wonder what he's up to, or like, how's his career going? I've not seen much of him. And I said, well, as a matter of fact, he had a nice part in my movie, Road Hard. He played the manager. He played the owner of the business that I was doing the corporate gig for. So he was in my movie, Sonny. So, and then Sonny just went, oh, so his career's not going so good, huh?
Oh my God.
Which,
Zing!
there's always an element of truth. Yes. He was.
That's just funny.
Yeah, it's just funny, but it's got to be true. It's got to be true. But yeah, he's still pecking away at it. All right, let's see. This I haven't totally confirmed it, and I've had some second thoughts about it. But I was doing some work at the other shop involving moving some stuff around, and I needed some muscle over at the other shop. Just lots of pallets to move around, lots of stuff, doing the asphalt resurfacing. Okay. So you got to get the stuff off the asphalt, and it's all built up in the parking lot. So I got my guys over there, got a couple other guys, but they're all skilled guys. And, you got to drive a forklift and do some stuff, so you need some skill. But I said, we need a couple of grunts in here just moving stuff. I don't want to pay the high dollar guys to just schlep stuff back and forth. Let's get some muscle. And
you don't pay Tyreek Hill to block.
That's right. And there was a day.
Tina just text me that.
There was a day when you could find somebody's 15-year-old son, or even your own, and like entice them to come over and do shit for money.
Sure.
No. There's money's free. Everything's on the app. Everything's Apple Pay. It's on their phone. It's like, how do you I got a crisp $20 bill. It's like, fuck off, old man. Nobody. That's all I was a sort of.
Me for half an hour.
I was a mule for hire when I was 15 or 16.
Cash?
Grandparents' friends are moving. Yep. Everyone's moving. It's like, go over there and fucking start moving shit and get $4 an hour. I mean, anything. But anyway. So I said, go to the Home Depot, go to the corral, and see if there's grab a couple of guys, a couple of day labor guys, and bring them over and have them get to work over here. Save me some money. I mean, paying you guys the big bucks. All right. And I went back a couple days later, and they were just out in the parking lot moving stuff, minus the day labor guys. And I said, wait, where are the Home Depot guys? And they're like, it's not going to work. Mm-hmm. And I said, what happened? Oh, we sent Roberto over there, speak Spanish, to go get them. I said, yeah, so where are they? They wanted $250 a day. That was their day rate.
Oh, they're unionized.
And I was like, $250 a day, $31.25 an hour.
Wow.
Essentially, those are Mark Garrigo's billable hours. And I'm like, is it $250 a day? And they're like, yep,
that's the going rate.
That's the going rate.
Wow. There was no undercutter? No one's like, I'll do it for two?
Yeah. I suppose everybody there has to agree on the same price, otherwise they can't
the group
jump into the corral.
Right.
And it's gotten a little more uniform. It used to be just dudes hanging out in the parking lot. Now there's like a bench in a little office,
and a
little corral, and they're there. And I'm still going to follow up on this because I had this thought. I was like, $250. I've been obsessed with it. Then I started thinking, wait a minute, are those my guys telling me that because they don't want...
Skim? Oh, they're going to skim a little bit.
No, they didn't go with them, so there's nothing to skim. The question is do they just want the work for them and they don't want to farm it out?
But they're already working.
Yeah, they're getting paid either way, right?
Yeah, but not as long.
Okay.
If it takes X amount of days quicker. Listen. I'd
be surprised.
It seems less likely.
I trust them. I believe them. I've just been walking around with this $250 a day in my head. And by the way, ostensibly $250 cash.
Yeah, well, of course.
I mean, that's like
You're
making
not 1099 those guys.
It's like making $400 a day in LA.
What were you thinking they would accept?
My thing was, whatever it is they want, it's got to be less than what I'm paying my guys. So even if it's $1.80 a day or 20, I guess I thought it'd be like $21 an hour or something, $20 an hour, $18 an hour.
Sounds right.
But
$31.50.
It's also my biggest argument against the living wage or the minimum wage. That's the wage. That we've figured it out. That's what the wage is what you will pay them, will get them into your truck and out of the corral. That's how we worked it out. There's no need for a third party to get involved here. That's what they want.
Because if they set a minimum wage, they would be lowballed. They would get $31.50 an hour.
No, they would not. Dawson, you got a tape and mud guy?
No, I do.
Oh, that's you.
Yeah, so a buddy of mine just went to Home Depot recently. He was charged for maybe hanging some drywall, but tape and mud as well. $3 to $3.50 a day.
Wow. So that's a skill.
That's a skill, yeah.
My guys are saying $250, no tools. Now, $250, no tools is the whole time I work construction. You show up with a truck full of tools. The homeowner doesn't have anything, you know. But yeah, that's the rate. Now, look, that's California, that's Burbank, that's whatever, but
that is what it is.
I'll jump in that corral.
Yeah.
Shit.
And
after work.
And as I tell people all the time, get a fucking skill. These guys are making a fuck lot more than people that got a 4-year degree in communications or associates, whatever, and Chicano studies. They're fucking making cash on the barrelhead.
Like you mentioned, cash.
And the guys who can hang sheetrock and do a decent mud and tape job, I mean, this guy's a $3 to $3.50 a day.
I'm asking for Brian. He texted me, what is mud and tape?
Well, you hang
I told you not to mention me by name.
Sorry.
You hang the sheetrock, which is a brand name. You'd hang the drywall, and then on all the seams, you put tape on it, and then skim it with joint compound.
Got it.
And then you'd put topping on it, which is like a finer joint compound. And you'd also hit all the divots where the screws were, too.
Okay.
So
seems like work.
You walk in, see all the drywall up with all the seams and all the screw holes and everything. And then when these guys mud and tape, everything's gone, prime paint.
I see.
Yeah,
So-
it's like an art to do it.
Yeah, I like watching that stuff.
Yeah.
So sheetrock is a brand name? Mm-hmm. Do you know what else I just discovered at the gym was a brand name? Because I was telling Vinny, and he's like, that's a company. You know, Nautilus is a brand name?
Oh, yeah.
Like when you're on the Nautilus equipment?
Yeah.
What else do you call that? He's like, no, I'm sure you're using hammer strength. And I'm like, how did you know?
Hammer strength.
What else do we call Nautilus equipment? It's called Nautilus equipment. If it's not, if it's like a machine, I thought that was just called Nautilus.
No,
each machine is
That's a brand.
Yeah, like
Did not know that.
pull down or whatever.
Okay.
You should 100% believe Roberto because he was doing some work for me about 3 weeks ago, and he brought his wife and had his wife be his laborer.
Oh boy.
And I was laughing with him. I'm like, you got a good woman here. She's coming out and she's doing some hard work. And he said, you know how much in his broken English, he says, I went to Home Depot to try to get somebody. They want $250 a day.
There you go.
Oh,
So
okay.
I paid his wife considerably less than $250 a day, but I paid Roberto's rate. So yes, 100% believe him because he's putting his wife to work now. Because those are the
I love
costs.
for everyone I know to try to sell that to their wife. Hey, you in a mood to move boulders
Not even a little bit. Why?
in the hot San Fernando Valley?
Nope.
Dig it out. They had to dig out my whole easement and lay rock in there.
Jesus.
And it wasn't easy.
Yeah.
She's a worker.
Oh yeah,
Good woman.
I will say
Planes,
this.
trains, and automobiles.
I don't know.
She's strong.
Oh yeah, I don't know how long ago that was, but
About 3-4 weeks ago.
yeah, it's funny because I never seen Roberto's wife, but I did see him a few weeks ago, and the wife was in the car.
Yep.
She didn't seem like she was in a good mood.
Yeah. Was she wearing a big hat?
I took notice. Like he pulled up, he's like, "Hey, Maestro," he calls me or whatever, and I have a good thing with Roberto. But
He calls you Patron.
Patron. Hey, Patron. But his wife is in the car and she's got a puss on. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I don't want to get involved, but
Fully long sleeves, all the limbs covered in a big wide hat. Yep, she was working.
I'm telling you, they're happier than we are. We
100%.
sit around and check our phones every 10 seconds and watch the news scroll, and we're all just chewing on our own feet here. And they're out there fucking making hay while the sun shines. Also, it's interesting with Roberto, when you start talking to him about stuff, You think these people just like live and work and then eat cactus stew and then work again and live and
what we
work?
think.
Half the time I talk to that guy, it's like, we're going to the casino. I going to San
living.
Manuel.
Oh.
I fucking love it.
living,
Lots of
man.
good food, like to gamble, like to have a good time. And I'm like, but she's supposed to be home in a hot apartment, miserable. I'm
Toiling.
supposed to be in San Manuel. He's like, nah, that's where we go. Have a good time.
Plate up California crap stuff, buy your buffet for free.
Yeah.
That's right. All right, let me tell you, Jonathan Kite is here. I had this, I'm going to try not to jinx it, but I was thinking about it. I got all my March Madness here, and I thought, oh man, it's a tall order. TSA, backup beepers, LA marathons, DJ Khaled. Like, I have to dig deep, find a new angle on all
That's what
this stuff.
champions do.
That's what we do, but I was like struggling with it. And then I thought, oh, Jonathan Kite's coming. And then I started picturing him doing Paul Giamatti. And I started laughing. And then I thought, what if he jumped in as an outrage Paul Giamatti on these subjects and we'll tag team it together.
We'll see.
So hopefully.
A bold gambit.
All right, let me tell you about Simply Safe, U.S. News and PC Magazine. And Popular Science all ranked Simply Safe Home Security as the best home security 2021. And U.S. News just named Simply Safe the best home security of 2022. So I think they are on a roll. This stuff is great. Peel and stick, no pulling wires, no mess, no drilling, no crawling around in the underpinning or the hot attic of the house. Protect every door, window, and room 24/7, backed by the best professional monitoring in the business, ready to dispatch police, firefighters, or EMTs. Less than $1 a day. Set it up yourself in around 30 minutes. No long-term contract. Try it out for 60 days for free. Customize your home's perfect system in just a few minutes at simplysafe.com/Adam. Go today for a free indoor security camera plus 20% off with interactive monitoring at simplysafe.com/Adam. All right, one of our favorites, Jonathan Kite, is in studio right after this.
The Adam Carolla Show presents Jonathan Kite's birthday cocktail party for September 2nd. Let's see who's invited. Let's welcome American soul musician, the fifth Beatle, Billy Preston. Former NFL quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Terry Bradshaw is here. We welcome actor Mark Harmon, Tennis Hall of Famer Jimmy Connors, skateboarding legend Tony Alva, former undisputed world heavyweight champion Lennox Lewis. Salma Hayek joins the party. Strange things are afoot at the birthday party. Keanu Reeves is here. Jonathan Kite on the Adam Carolla Show.
Wow, that is eclectic, man.
Pretty good.
Pretty damn good. Jonathan has some dates coming up. Louisville, Kentucky, Louisville Comedy Club. And that'll be May 3rd. And then Fort Wayne, Indiana, Summit City Comedy Club. That'll be May 4th. And then Appleton, Wisconsin, Skyline. Well, we played there. It's a great club. May 5th. And all the dates are available on his website, officialjonathankite.com. Good to see you, my friend.
Great to see you, buddy.
Yeah, I'm always... comedians strike me as... a group. They're never in the middle. They're either super nice or super douchey.
Yeah.
And Jonathan's super douchey. He's super nice. I don't. Or is there a new thing? I mean, guys like you and Brad Williams and Adam Ray and everyone's just so fucking friendly. Is there like a new comedian who are nice? They're all traditionally super competitive and they hated each other. And I'm sure
crotchety.
Johnny Carson hated everybody all the time. And you hear the stories, even your George Carlins and stuff, that just weren't. Yes, Brian.
Like a positive theory, and feel free to poke holes in it, but I feel like in this day and age, with podcasts being so popular, you don't have comedians competing for stage time or for whatever, seen to the backstage and blah, blah. It's more like, hey, come on my podcast, I'll come on yours, we'll do this, we get to know each other. It feels a little more communal.
Yeah.
Like I see people pop up on podcasts all the time.
I guess so.
I think it's also spots, though, right? Because it feels like there's more there's more outlets for comedy
Yeah.
than there ever has been before with streaming
We're
and
saying
YouTube.
the same thing, John.
Yeah,
We're saying the same thing.
It's all there just feels like there's more food at the table instead of like fighting for that one scrap.
Sure.
So I was talking to Chris. So you're down with giving me an assist on the March Madness as Paul Giamatti.
Well, Adam, good to see you, buddy boy.
Good to see you, Paul.
I had a tough COVID, but I'm here. 14 vaccines. Got it 15 times.
Oh, I got
COVID 15 times.
15 times.
Yeah. Well, I got a lot of pet bats. I'm not going to change who I am.
And also, I thought, who better to watch a little Bobby Hollander with? But I thought, I don't know, like who? I'm looking down the list here.
Maybe Tom Hanks.
Got Tom Hanks for Bobby.
Oh, I love it. I love porn.
You did.
I got a sex toy out. I think a lot of people know it as the Woody.
The Woody.
The Woody. Oh, that is what your wife or partner is going to scream.
Well, Tom, it's called The Personal Touch. It's a movie. It's a strictly adult, strictly X.
Oh, I've seen it many times.
Oh, yeah?
And yes, well, let me just say this. As sort of maybe the most popular American, I would say that Tom Hanks is the person is a personal touch.
Yeah.
I think all of my films seem to touch people.
And so I was looking. We got Wahlberg. That's strong. We got Seth Rogen. I was looking at Liam Neeson pitching personal touch. I don't know what that would sound like then.
I don't know who you are. This is what his dating app sounds like. I don't know what you want, but I can tell you that I offer a very particular set of skills with my fingers and mouth. And I will find you, and I will pleasure you.
Yeah, I'm down. That works.
All right, I just got to see 25 seconds of Bobby.
How has Paul Giamatti not played him in the movie, by the way?
Great question.
I know.
You thought it was Alfred, but it's not. My name is Bobby Hollander, and I'd like to introduce you to a tape called The Personal Touch. Now, The Personal Touch is something different in home entertainment. It's strictly adult, strictly X, and it's hot. It's so hot, it's going to blow your balls off. It's going to want to make you wet your panties. It's going to want to make you reach in and grab it. It's going to want to make you come right on your television screen.
All right. I'm seeing a come on around your television. That's the part that gets me.
Yeah, that your television needs to have a splash guard.
Yeah.
It's real visual.
Like it's a fucking Golden Corral salad bar.
It's a sneeze guard.
Or a drum kit from Arsenio's band.
Hilarious.
Like we need, I don't know. I'm obsessed on the Lucite drum kit surround thing because they were nowhere. Somehow Led Zeppelin and Rolling Stones were all able to have careers without the fucking sneeze guard around the drummer. Then at some point in 1987, somebody went, new decree. Everyone needs the fucking salad sneeze guard around the drum kit. And then they went away. And now we don't need them anymore. I know there's a reason for them. I'm just saying, why wasn't there a reason? And now why is there?
Why was the heyday from 88 to 93?
Doc Severinsen got along just fine with his drummer for, a 29-year run.
I think the late 80s were wetter than we all remember.
That's possible.
AIDS.
Oh.
You could catch AIDS from drummers. Well,
listen,
think about it. They're traveling.
Think about it.
No, really, think about it. They travel. They're fucking banging every chick in the lobby of the fucking hotel. The lead singer, the lead guitar, they're getting the clean, high-end punani. You know what I mean? The drummer, he's out there at the fucking roadies trying to get his dick wet. So he's getting a certain class of woman. You know what I mean?
AIDS riddled.
And we didn't know. We thought, kissing, or people wouldn't hug Magic Johnson. We didn't know.
Yeah. So you think they were, because it's a physical instrument. You get sweaty. It's flying everywhere.
Spittle and sweat, elbow sweat flying
we just
everywhere.
Didn't know any better.
Well, look at the Lucite drum surround calendar. I keep mine on a laminate in my wallet, but it's in the car. And then take a look at age. You'll see the exact same timeline.
The correlation.
Sure.
You see the exact same timeline.
Right.
The plastic around or the sneeze guard around the drum set, it was like a condom for your drum set.
Yep.
Right.
That's what it was. Right.
Leakage.
Right. And you would, if you fuck that drummer, it's like fucking everybody in the band of everyone he's ever played with.
It's a good point.
Then I never thought that was the one AIDS message that kind of fucked me up. You know.
Yeah. Oh, I remember it well. The PSA.
Young hemophiliac getting it. I could keep walking.
Ryan
and
White.
A lot of the gays getting it. I could keep walking. But when they kept going, you know, when you sleep with someone, it's like sleeping with everyone they've ever slept with. And it just sort of turns your girl into a de facto whore, and it makes you a pimp. Or now you're essentially being retroactively cuckolded.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
You know what I mean? Like now the dude's here. Is
I
he
can't
here?
look her in the eye.
Then you have to start thinking about who they slept with,
Yeah.
and then they have to have this discussion, and then at some point you go down this road where like, well, the one guy, I just blew him in a van. I didn't, and you're like, yeah, different time.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
More, what do you say? Less history, more mystery.
Right. Less history, more mystery, but
AIDS
you
Council.
can't do it with the AIDS.
Right.
Yeah. Where were you guys? Again, the best time ever. You guys are a little young, but pre-AIDS, mid-Coke. That was Studio
The
54.
sweet spot.
That's like 1977 in 4 months. You know what I mean? That is you fucking at Studio 54. Everyone's juiced out of their brain and they're fucking in the bathroom. No thoughts.
Yeah.
No AIDS. No nothing. Just Coke is good for you. And we're just going to fucking bareback it in the third stall. At
The
Studio
American
54.
dream.
Yeah. And then this.
And then that 5th month.
Jonathan and I are about the same age. I don't know if your
Yeah.
experience is similar. AIDS provided me with a nice cover, a nice excuse as to why I wasn't getting laid in high school. It's like, oh, hey, AIDS, a big AIDS scare.
Yeah,
It's like,
that was-
I went to high school from like 92 to 96, right? Like the height of the fucking AIDS scare. And, there was no hooking up. There wasn't, it wouldn't have been anyway. Put the picture up, please. It wouldn't have been anyway, but it was a nice cover.
Yeah, when I was 98 to 02, and we were still having like the AIDS fallout.
Oh, sure.
So I was still able to get in on that of being like, guys, I'd love to get laid, but you know AIDS, right?
Yeah. What I wouldn't give.
Trust me, guys. AIDS.
Did
a lot
you,
of fish shaking at AIDS?
Were you weird and awkward in high school? Did they not appreciate you and your talents? Voices is, in a world, my classmates didn't enjoy my sardonic observations on society. They're not appreciated at all. But if I could do a couple of voices,
I think so there was I started by doing impressions because I would do impressions of the teachers.
Oh, that's good.
And so there was this guy, Mr. Shutt, who I think is not with us anymore. When he was sort of like a Hogwarts teacher, like in the vein of Snape. He was somebody that like we sort of put up with, but he was like this figure. He was somebody that you would pass down the mythology from class to class.
Sure.
And when he wasn't there, I would do an impression of him. We would convince the substitute teacher to let me teach the class for the hour.
oh my God.
So that was probably. So I think that I sort of got them on my side, and so I would start doing, because I didn't start doing celebrity impressions, I think, until I got out to L.A.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I would do like friends and family growing up, as characters.
You could probably do an Alan Rickman.
I could do an Alan Rickman.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
Snape.
I don't know, Brian. Hello, yippee-ki-yay.
Mr. Potter.
Mr. Potter, I don't like your wand in my face.
He's gone, right?
He is. I loved him. Die Hard. He was so good. He refused to learn the accent. They're all like weirdly German, Eastern
Right.
European, and he is just like,
Hello, I'm Hans Gruber. I'm from a very West Germany known as the UK.
Right. Yeah, it was always like there was just that conceit of all those 80s movies when somebody came from some distant galaxy, they just spoke with an English accent, and we were like, I guess they're smarter than we are, so
Sure.
that's why they've adopted
the bad
that.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't talk like us.
No. Yeah. I'm looking at Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah.
And I'm like thinking, God, what does that sound like?
Adam, I would say I'm very happy to be here today on your show. You get around the table like you do at dinner,
and you have a smorgasbord of conversation. And you bring it in because essentially that's what life is. It's sharing good times and muscle milk with the family around you and the love within your heart. Welcome to Parts Unknown, no food.
Remind me to talk to my kids about suicide prevention because I'm going to just bring up Anthony Bourdain and I'm going to go, if this guy can kill himself, any of us can kill ourselves. Your life is not going to be 1/10 as good as this guy who killed himself.
That guy was living the dream.
I know. Maybe that was the problem. Maybe it's the carrot and the stick out in front of not feeling like we're ever getting to the dream. What happens when you get to the dream?
I don't know, but maybe sit this conversation out with your children. It almost seems like you're encouraging it.
Look,
if this guy who has everything can do it, any of us, who among us couldn't?
Well, I get what you're saying, but I remember the most uncomfortable conversation I ever had with my mom when I was like 9. I had this older male neighbor who I used to love and hang out with, and I was driving with my mom in her VW Square back once, and she was like, if Eddie ever does anything sexually, and I was like, oh God, no, please, no. She felt compelled. Now she was trying to be a good mom, but I was like, oh, yuck. You know, when you're 9 and Eddie's 13, it just sounded like the weirdest, grossest thing. And she wasn't
from your mom.
She wasn't basing it on anything he did. She was just like, it's an older guy.
That's the moment she picked to be a mother?
Yes, I know. You picked the one moment to be a
give
fucking
a hug,
mom.
give you some money, a toy.
And I was just like, ugh.
I went to summer camp and the older counselors, who, by the way, they seemed 60 years old, but they probably were just like 3 months older than us.
Yes.
It was like a real Lord of the Flies situation that my parents put me in every summer. And there was this guy, I just remember him being like the cool kid in a movie, in like an 80s camp movie. And I remember like he was the camp counselor and he used to call me Stud. And I remember I brought it up to my mother, and I remember her having like a Tim Allen moment of like, like I'll never forget that. I probably was like 6 or 7 years old, and then she goes, oh, who is that counselor? Because she was like meeting, like I was telling her about the day or whatever, and I was like, yeah, whatever the guy's name was, Bruce or something, and I was like, yeah, it's great, and it's like we have nicknames for each other. He calls me Stud, and my mom was just like, red flag. But there's nothing, he was totally harmless. He was like the coolest guy and he made my summer. Yeah. But my mother right away, I remember her, if we had been driving at the time, she would have jerked the brakes.
We forget in all our this new PC world that we're eliminating one of the simple pleasures of being young, which is getting a nickname or a handle from like an older guy.
Oh, it was the coolest feeling in the world.
You couldn't call a chick Legs, or you couldn't call a guy Stud or Ace, or like you couldn't do any of that stuff anymore, which is like
frowned upon.
Kind of fun. It gave you, I mean, it could take a turn. There was Brillo Head,
Slim,
out there.
Listen, they weren't all great.
They weren't all great, but once in a while, if you got a good one, it was nice. I'm seeing here you do Sam Elliott, and I know you hated Power of the Dog, which...
Let me just say this about Power of the Dog. I actually didn't see the movie.
Well, but then why the big critique?
I was put on the spot, and I was about 4 cases in of Coors Light.
Oh, Coors, yeah.
It's
what's for dinner.
It's the water that comes right off the mountain and into my gullet. I would literally lay at the base of a mountain and suck on that rock all day.
So, but you didn't like the newfangled Western, with the guys with their chaps,
I think,
and no pants under them.
I like when men don't say nothing to one another around a campfire, and there's just a lot of pent up feelings inside as we stare into.
You don't like
distance.
sharing?
I've never shared anything in my life, not with another person, not with. Only thing I've ever shared, and that's not true. I share a bed with a horse.
Whoa. You sleep with a horse?
I sleep
like the Godfather.
I sleep not just the head, the whole
horse?
The whole thing.
Wow, you're such a cowboy.
You're damn right, and we have shared things together like beans.
You and the horse.
Secrets.
You ever do that move where you feed him the carrot from your mouth?
I do it with peanut butter.
Oh boy.
Oh,
really?
Yep.
That's nice.
Peanut butter and sugar cubes. That's our nickname for one another.
Oh, so you still can't give
He
them.
calls me Stud.
My thing about anybody that's ever fed a horse from their mouth, whether it be a carrot or an apple or whatever, if you can prove to me that's what you do when no one is around, I will sign off on it. If this is the way you feed your horse when there's not a soul in the corral, then but if you're simply doing it to make me jealous, I don't have that kind of relationship with my horse or any other being.
He's like,
I don't think
"Guys,
I could feed my kids that way.
Give me a second. I got a baby bird.
Right.
Oh my God.
Pre-chew it.
All right. Well, we have the March Madness to get to. Paul,
Yeah?
you understand the concept of the game?
Yeah, I understand complaining about shit. That's my whole life. I just want to say this. You know the Snapchat filter? You know what Snapchat is? Yeah. When they say, what celebrities do you look like? So the other day, my kid goes, let's see what celebrity Paul Giamatti looks like. So I put it up to my face, and it counted down, and a picture of a hamster getting squeezed came up. Oh, not even a famous one.
It's not a celebrity at all.
A non-union hamster. I guess that's what old Paul Giamatti looks like.
Wow.
And I just got to say something. And you probably talked about the Will Smith thing earlier. I'm just going to say one thing. I've never been slapped in my life except with a lawsuit from a buffet. And I want to say something right now, Ponderosa, if you're listening, and I know you are. There's a countersuit coming from old Paul Giamatti, buddy.
Man. Wow. A hamster.
A hamster.
That's got a
a hamster without a name.
I got, of course, labeled, oh God, who was my, Pete Sampras with Down syndrome. And I thought that was bad.
That's weird they would add that.
Yeah.
That's.
But a hamster.
Yeah, it's not even human.
That's not even, it's not human.
Oh my God. I look like a beanbag chair with really downs. Extra downs.
All right. Doing Alex. Oh, wait, we got to take a break. We're going to take a break.
Right in the middle of Paul Giamatti. Of course you got to take a break.
Right in the middle of Paul, stealing his thunder. All right, let me hit Master Spas. Considering a backyard makeover, wish you had room for a pool, get a Michael Phelps swim spa from Master Spas. Combines the benefits of a pool with the therapy of a beautiful hot tub. Has a water current, so you can swim against it, or you can swim the direction it's going, but you're going to hit the other side pretty fast. Do aquatic exercises, have fun with the kids. Comes in a variety of sizes to complement almost any yard, even a small backyard. Since it's heated, you can use it all year round in any climate. 100% made in the USA by Master Spas, the world's largest swim spa manufacturer. You'll love your Michael Phelps swim spa by Master Spas, right, Dawson?
Go to masterspas.com, put in the promo code Adam to save $1,000 on a Michael Phelps swim spa or $500 on a Master Spas hot tub. That's masterspas.com, promo code Adam.
All right, Jonathan, hang with us. We'll do the what the hell are we doing? The March Madness right after this.
And now, Alcoa presents Definitely Not a Jew on the Adam Carolla Show. Dateline, Callahan, Florida. A 19-year-old girl attacked her elderly grandparents, chasing her grandfather with a knife and throwing a pack of cigarettes at her grandmother after she felt her dinner didn't have enough tomatoes. Definitely not a Jew.
All right, let's fire it up.
It's time for more of the big rants of March Madness. Today we head into the Furious Four. But first, a recap. The LA Marathon crossed the finish line and became the California Conference champion after trampling Barbara Ferrer. And backup beepers told unrinsed coffee mugs to take a coffee break and washed them out of the tournament.
In our first Furious 4 matchup to determine who goes to the championship, it's Backup Beepers versus the TSA.
Backup beepers. Could we evolve this? We evolved the inside of the car. It's not nearly as annoying. The placard that goes off, the buzzer that goes off for the seatbelt. Those cars from the 70s and 80s were fuck. I had to put my wallet in my mouth so I wouldn't swallow my tongue and have a seizure. But now they've evolved the inside of the car. Can we evolve the outside of the equipment? The backup beeper shouldn't be a fucking beeper. I've said it before. I've come up with the ultimate idea. A feeler. Much like a grasshopper has its little antennae. Just two pieces of 6-foot-long bamboo that just stick out of the back of fucking everything, giving someone a nice nudge or a poke when something is backing up and letting me sleep soundly in my second-floor bedroom just because you've decided to fucking dig a swimming pool next door doesn't mean I need to be part of the crew. What do you think, Paul Giamatti?
Well, first off, let me just say that very, very early in the morning, there's no one on the road. There is no one on the road. Except for me, I'm in Sleepy Town. I'm driving down Sleepy Town in my head and then ding, ding, ding. And first of all, let me just say that there's cameras on everything in the world. We got backup cameras on a LimeWire bike. We can't have a backup camera on this truck. I've got a camera. I got a GoPro on my ass right now. I got a GoPro.
Wow. All right, the TSA. First off, I'm here to announce that 2022, the terrorists have won. They've won. Every grandma's being pushed out of her wheelchair. Every veteran's taking off their prosthetic limb. The terrorists have won. They've inflicted massive amounts of pain and discomfort on this country, which is what they wanted to do. And also, I mean, you're dumping the Vita water out. You got to take your jacket off. You got to take your belt off. They have won. They've officially won. And also, I was wondering, what's going on at the airport? Everyone's wandering around in pajama bottoms and slippers now. It's the TSA. They don't want to have to get dressed twice. No one wants to fucking strap on some boots and put on a denim jacket and put their cowboy fucking belt on and then go strip down again. So all the fucking people of Los Angeles are like, fuck it. We're going in our PJs and our fucking bunny slippers, Paul.
Let me just say this. I have been randomly searched 110% of the time. I used to wear a suit and then a barrel. I got to wear a barrel with suspenders or a Snuggie, okay? And you try to get me to dump out my snacks. There's no metal in the peanuts because I got fillings in 1983. You got to randomly search Paul. You don't got to put that glove on. Paul is not bringing through anything dangerous.
Wow. I did not expect the added element. I did not expect the added element of Paul Giamatti chiming in and frankly turning these into even golder gold.
It's true. I like the throwback idea of just the prongs. Yeah, you know, the 6-foot prongs. That'll let you know if something's backing up. And I get it. Paul, understand, he wears one on his ass.
He wears a GoPro.
I got a GoPro on my tramp stamp.
But I gotta say, the TSA, strong. I like that Adam finally sees why you people go to the airport in your pajamas.
Oh, yeah.
And Paul got fillings, so he has to get searched 110% of the time.
Yeah, I feel like the TSA is more of a comment on our society.
Yeah, I say TSA.
TSA it is.
In our last Furious 4 matchup, it's LA Marathon versus
DJ Khaled.
La La Land.
A man who'd be winded while watching a marathon.
There we go.
DJ Khaled.
Oh, the LA Marathon. First off, what the fuck happened to the 5Ks and the 10Ks? I feel like there was a 5K and a 10K going off every fucking 20 minutes 10 years ago. They're all gone. The 5Ks and the 10Ks were short, and they always raised money for scleroderma or muscular dystrophy. Not the marathon. I'm doing that for me. I'm doing that for number one. I'm going to shut your fucking town down for 11 hours because I'm proving something to myself. But then I thought there should be another class. We got the wheelchair class. We got the Kenyans over here. We got the chicks over there. What about the homeless class? I would watch that. First off, no one more suited for a marathon. First off, you live on the marathon course. You're there. Your best buddy doesn't have to drop you off and pick you up at the finish line. You are fucking taking a dump on the fucking course. That is your fucking home. Also, You've been training your whole life. You've been pushing a shopping cart filled with cans for the last 17 years. No one has better quads than you. We'll finish the whole thing at the Santa Monica Pier, and all the homeless people who win, we'll promise them free drugs. We won't give them drugs. We'll push them off the end of the fucking pier.
Let me just say this, Marathons. Why do you got to take Sundays from Paul? I got one day to get things done, and things are already closed. The dry cleaning, you're only open until 3. Well, I can't get there because there's 1,000 strangers going through my lawn. Like if they're on their way to a castle that burned down Frankenstein.
Wow. DJ Khaled, you know what I woke up to find out this morning? He's getting a star on the Walk of Fame. Oh, man, that shit ain't going to be dry before I get out there wearing my MAGA hat with my fucking pickaxe. I'm going full fucking Donald Trump star on DJ Khaled's fat ass out there. But then I was thinking about DJ Khaled. He's not even a DJ anymore. He physically doesn't even burn the calories to put his hands on top of a disc. He's too lazy to fucking play an instrument that plugs in and plays itself. He won't even fucking move his fucking elbows anymore, except for to point to the fucking ceiling and yell, "We the best." Oh, wait a minute. Paul.
First off, I can't even get a star in the Walmart in my hometown, okay? And second of all, he's a DJ the way that DJ Tanner Candace Cameron was on Full House. Not a DJ.
Wow. That was a good poll from Paul.
That was excellent.
Wow, this is another tough one. I always assume that DJ Khaled's going to just steal the show, but very innovative with the homeless, with the LA Marathon. I did not think to push them off the pier once they got to Santa Monica.
As uncomfortable as I am with the genocide of the homeless, I do like the homeless class of the marathon.
And as
nice
Paul,
twist.
who refers to himself in third person, what about a day for Paul? So that's a good. That's a. God.
I don't want. You know what? Philosophically, I don't like the idea of rewarding DJ Khaled further. You know what I mean?
I like that. Also, my father, known for hating marathons, ran 20 miles a day. Thought they were narcissistic. So perhaps the marathon goes forward.
All right, tune in tomorrow for the championship, and we will determine the winner of March Madness.
20 miles a day?
He was a He was a runner, and he never listened to music. He never had headphones. All he would do, Brian, I think you'll appreciate this the most of anyone in this room, because he was a little bit savantish. All he would do is go over baseball stats in his head, old baseball stats, and he loved it.
Wow.
Yeah. He never had music or anything.
He was studying.
Yeah.
Oh, this is crazy
It just
variety of
relaxed him.
human beings. There's just too much variety. There's too many people do too many things.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
He would say like old commercials out loud. He would go over old baseball stats while he jogged.
How long would it take him to do the 20 miles, you think?
I tuned out, but I mean,
he
it was kind of a
diagnosed
couple
with
hours.
autism?
That's what relaxed him. That's what he liked to do.
You know what relaxes me? Relaxing.
Yeah.
People, I don't get the people that are relaxed sweating
If I
their
might,
ass off.
Adam, let me step in here. What relaxes me is wind sprints.
Yes. Jingle jangles on the
Right.
basketball court.
And he would do, well, we always call them dead bugs, but you know, like what do you call them when you're on the ground and you do knee to elbow all day?
Oh, I don't know.
We always call them dead. They were daddy dead bugs. I probably named them when I was 3. But he listened to music when he did those every day. It was either from the TV or he would sing all the arrangements to all the old B Westerns.
Wow.
So it'd be like dun da da dun da da da, and he would do dead bugs.
Huh.
And he did it till 2 years ago.
Yeah. I used to criticize my mom for locking herself in the room and yelling freak out.
Yeah.
But
There's alternatives.
there's alternatives. Speaking of that, the biorhythm wheel, we got to figure out. You got to pull it up, Brian.
right
We got to
here.
see how no one knows how to physically work
it's
it, but
true.
we need to figure out.
Jonathan, what's your birthday?
Jonathan,
September 2nd.
You mind telling me the year?
Yeah, 1979.
Okay, cool. I want to tell you what your biorhythm says.
Oh, please.
Mark Wahlberg, what would it sound like if you just got done running a marathon?
Hey, what's up, Adam? The truth is, I'm always running a marathon.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, I'm doing one right now. You can't even see it, but I'm on a tiny treadmill. Under the table, you know what I'm saying? I got the Peloton, I got the Wahlberg. It's just a little tiny treadmill. And the thing is, I do this in my sleep. That's why I'm yoked. I'm a 65-year-old guy. People think I'm in my early 50s, but I'm not.
No.
I'm yoked. I'm always running.
Yeah.
All the time. I'm about to pass out. I'm about to hyperventilate right now. But you know what? I'm in great shape. So I feel great. I feel unbelievable. I feel lightheaded, but I feel great.
Well, it's no wonder your biorhythm wheel tells us that it's a good day physically, 82 out of 100.
Come on.
Intellectually, 62 out of 100. Unfortunately, emotionally, you're at a negative 43.
Holy shit.
Can you go positive past 100?
It's not according to this app.
But you can go negative under 0?
I guess it goes to my. Oh no! Well, funny you should ask, because when I opened it, it was still set to my birthday. So today is a minus 100 day for me physically.
Wow.
Minus 100.
Get him a chair.
Jesus
Get him a
Christ.
Mark Wahlberg little treadmill.
This, I think this for my mom fell under the heading of, she has 3 states. She has, I have a cold, I just got over a cold, or I feel something coming on, which eliminates her from having to pick you up from the airport. But I think the biorhythm wheel.
Helpful. Less cliche, more cliche to do this, but I often do that with my period. Yeah.
Oh, you either have it.
I feel it coming on. I can't do it. Or I'm in full swing. This is why I'm acting like this. Or I just got over it and I'm still reeling from the symptoms.
I've said this many times. I had every job I hated from 0 to 30 and a half. I was constantly calling sick and blah blah blah. I would have used this shit out of my period. I was actually hooked up with a chick once who I think called in
Called in
it
period?
was just partied all night and then 4 a.m. and got up at 7:15 and she just went, yeah, I got this, and she played the period card.
Wait a second. I've been here for 7 years. Are you saying at some point I could have called in period?
The thing about the period,
Silly now.
the thing about
I'm physically here now, aren't I?
raising the red card.
Yeah.
The thing is there's no further questions.
That's right.
Nobody does any digging.
That's exactly
light
right.
flow,
Right.
we're just spotting.
Yeah, there's no pics or it didn't happen.
Right.
You know,
Right.
yeah.
It's just we want to move on.
Yeah.
Get right to the probably the same heading where once women get to a certain age and they say something like, I won't be here on Monday. I have to have a procedure. It's like, okay, take your time. Take your time.
Takes
Take
much
your
time as you-
It's never a wart being burned off your shoulder.
No, it's a
fucking
prolapsed
something.
uterus.
Something is going on.
Yeah.
Fine. You take all the time you need.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
You're right. We do have it better. Didn't realize that till now.
Count your blessings.
Yeah.
I feel like Paul Giamatti is one of these guys who's like, he never feels like going into work. He could always be like, oh, I got all the discs. All right, but I'm still coming in. I'm still here. I am still here. I haven't taken a shit in 3 days, and I can feel it all. But I am still here. Nobody said Paul didn't show up.
Is Billions, is this in its last season?
Ask your buddy Compliment.
Yeah. Brian Compliment must be.
Yeah, I have no idea.
This got to be it. But I think Paul's lost some weight.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
We like Pudgy Paul.
He's also doing car commercials now.
He's doing Volkswagen commercials.
Oh, really?
Is that what it is?
Yeah, he plays.
Oh, the agent.
He
or
plays the
whatever.
agent.
Yeah.
Oh, no, or the money manager of the celebrity who's spending too much money.
I'm way
I
off.
thought it was you're probably right. It's an Infinity where he goes outside. He goes, well, that can't be our car. That's an Infinity. And they're like, that is our car. And he goes, well, fancy that.
I think it's a Volkswagen.
Yeah, you're probably right. I always think Paul Giamatti's like, he always sounds impressed by nothing. well, you got the lights working and everything, huh? Electricity. I heard about that.
Just renewed for 7th season
nice.
in
Good for him,
February.
man.
Yeah, I love that guy.
I love him. I actually, we were in New York at this on the street, and I just didn't reach over, but I wanted to be like, dude, you're the best. And I just thought, you know what? But he looked exactly. He was in a sweatsuit, the color of bad weather. Like smog, fog, sort of also, and he was just like, man, I always said Paul Giamatti looks like, just at a glance, as a guy who just got the worst news of his life. And he was just
Downtrodden.
walking in Manhattan, just like, oh, hey, Paul, how you doing? Not good. Oh, things are not good for old Paul. To complete strangers,
He plays a great set. So.
Yeah. He's like, and what was the name on that order? Wouldn't you like to know? I can throw some nuggets in there for yourself.
Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah, he was great in Sideways.
So funny.
Don't forget John Adams, a period piece.
Oh,
for
yeah.
Paul.
He is awesome in John Adams.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I said, I used to do a joke about this show when, 4 people watched it, that I go, John Adams, it's amazing that he was the second president, but the first president that didn't do 2 terms. Because if they were anything like Paul Giamatti, we're done with him. We're like, let's bring in a new guy. It's a new system. George Washington twice, but not John Adams, not this guy. We're going to beat the British. Oh, we are going to beat the British. You're like, yeah, let's bring in somebody else. Thank you.
I was watching you on Two Broke Girls the other day. I forgot about that. Is it Two Broke Girls?
Yeah.
Yeah. How the hell does that work? How do you come in and do the accent, or do they have the accent figured out?
It was a crazy thing because I was auditioning for another show with a casting director, and she was like Michael Patrick King, who had done Sex and the City, obviously such a mega global hit. She's like, he's going to do a show on network with Whitney Cummings. They created the show together, and they were like, "There's no part for a white guy other than this 50-year-old Russian guy." And at the time, I was like 30, I think. So they go, just come in and meet the team. So I dressed the way I thought he would dress, like hairnet and everything and all. And I just showed up and did the accent, and I just kept getting called back. And by the end, I booked it.
Did they know you weren't Russian?
So Whitney, to her credit, I mean, very smart. She said when I went in front of Warner Brothers, she goes, don't speak in an American accent. So when they talk to you, always answer in the Russian-Ukrainian accent. So like all the guys over there were, just like, oh, thank you for coming in. And I would just be like, thank you so much for having me. This was it's a really fun process. Everyone's so nice and stuff. And the guy, Peter Roth, didn't know I was American until I booked the show.
That's amazing.
Really?
Yeah, because that was totally Whitney's call. She's like, do not just be, because the other 2 guys I was auditioning against, one of them was British, and he had played maybe a terrorist on 24. I don't remember, but then the other guy was 100% from Russia.
Oh, really?
So she was like, and they were much older than me, like by 20 years at least. And so she was just like, if they want a young guy, it'll be you, and if they want one of the older guys, it'll be one of the older guys.
You beat out an actual Russian.
Who came back on the show and played like my cousin.
Oh, really?
Really sweet guy, very, very nice guy. He and by the way, he's just fine. He plays Russians in like the Mission Impossible movies.
He'll land on his feet.
Yeah, he's doing okay. Anybody who's worried at home.
Where was Balky from? Meepos?
Love it. One of my favorite shows. Meepos.
Now people are talking this. Yeah.
And
Not
then-
Mykonos.
No, Meepos.
Was it Meepos?
Yeah,
Okay.
I thought it was Myposian
I don't
because he
know.
was Myposian.
I don't even know what it is.
Such a funny show.
Yeah.
Great theme song.
Standing tall.
It's a fictional island near Greece.
Love it.
Meepos or Mypos. I think it's Meepos.
Meepos, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I completely lost touch with that show. Used to watch it. Was it be on like Friday nights or something? I feel like I'd just be home in my apartment when I was 19 or 20 and I would watch that show. But when I was filming Dawson's Creek, day of the LA Marathon, missed a fucking flight because I was in the Hollywood Hills and couldn't get to LAX because the entire city had been shut down.
By the way, to your point, the LA Marathon is always like, it's like I wake up and then everything's closed down and you're like I'm getting a coffee and I'm going, didn't we just have one of these?
Yes.
It's always going into it. It's like what you said about your
Yes.
period. We're
Yes.
always like recovering from the LA Marathon or going into it again.
And you're right, because I think the last one before this was November.
Yeah, it's like painting the
We
Golden
just
Gate
had it.
Bridge.
Exactly.
And then finish. And then it's also, for me, it's always I have the exact same relationship with the LA Marathon as I do with the time change. I'm like,
Did we just do this?
It's more like it's today.
Yeah.
It's today. I can't leave the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've literally lived, if you can picture this, right under the Hollywood sign. Then there's LAX, and
Couldn't
then
be
there's this
farther away.
giant encircled everything. Couldn't get anywhere.
No.
The Dawson's,
You're in the eye of the storm, bro.
the Dawson's Creek people. I think I was outside of the storm, but I couldn't
couldn't
get through.
broach
I couldn't
the
get
middle.
through it.
Yeah.
It was, but At Dawson's Creek, they sent a town car. The guy just like never showed up. He just literally, he just didn't. He just. I called
He's
him.
never seen from again. We lost him to the marathon.
At some point, he was like, I can't.
You can't be done.
I can't get anywhere.
Yeah.
You're on your own, and that was it. But when I would film, when we would finish doing Loveline, I would get back to my hotel at 3:30 in the morning. Perfect Strangers was on TV, and all was forgiven. Mm-hmm. All right, let me tell you guys about BetterHelp. Physical symptoms like headaches, teeth grinding, and digestive issues that can all be indicators of stress. Plus, doom scrolling. That's what you do. Everyone's sitting there looking at all the horrible stuff on their phone. Oh, man, it's overwhelming. And if it goes undertreated, you can be in a lot of trouble. I think we've all learned what stress will do to us with this pandemic. Take care of yourself, do less, and try a little therapy. BetterHelp, customized online therapy offering video, phone, and live chat sessions with your therapist. So you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. Much more affordable than in-person therapy. You can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. Give it a try and see if online therapy can help lower your stress. Right, Dawson?
This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/Carolla. That's BetterHelp.com/Carolla.
All right, take a quick break, come back, and do the news right after this.
This literally coming over the wire, as we used to say in the newsroom, at this moment. Congratulations, Oklahoma. They gave final legislation approval on Tuesday to a bill that would make performing an abortion a felony, punishable by up to 10 years in prison. And the only exception is to save the mother's life. They'll perform it. And also under the bill, a person convicted of performing the abortion faced a 10 years in prison and a $100,000 fine.
Any time.
Yeah, it says the bill's passage came on the same day as more than 100 people attended a Bands Off Oklahoma. I'm literally skimming this as we go. I'm trying to look for, after 6 weeks, after 12 weeks. If it's on there, it's buried at the bottom. I ain't seeing it.
I think we're heading toward this time where everyone is just going to have to pick whatever state they agree with and move to it.
Yeah.
That's the new world. I think that's the new world order. I think everyone is just going to have to find whatever their thoughts, convictions, religions, and whatever it is, and you're going to have to go to that state and live there.
I don't know if this is lore or at this point if it really happened, but remember the story that the reason why so many homeless people ended up in Santa Monica was because at one point Greyhound was giving one-way tickets to anywhere you wanted to go for the homeless, and it was meant to have them go home, but everyone went to Santa Monica. So maybe, for people who are stuck in places that they don't agree with, let's all get a big get out of jail free card, help everybody move, get settled, and then do what you got to do.
I think a lot of governors and mayors and stuff sort of around the country figured out that we were pretty hospitable to homeless, and they didn't want homeless there.
So their campaign was go to California.
I think there's a lot of that. I mean, because we've imported tons of homeless. We're exporting taxpayers, but we're importing homeless because they're just going where the getting's good.
That's true. Yeah.
I did a bunch of Austin last year, when it was open, and man, it felt like we were exporting a lot down there.
We are.
Maybe that's where their winter homes are.
The homeless.
Yeah.
A lot of homeless in Austin.
Yeah, because their restrictions, if it's a public area, they're allowed to be there and there's no policing.
Well, they're essentially water, and if you watch the neighbors washing the car and you see that thing, it's like it's trickling down, it's coming down the side of the street in the gutter, and then it hits a twig and it goes that way, and then it hits a leaf, and then it comes back this way, and then finds a low spot, and they literally just find the low parts and sort of slide into it. They just take whatever's given, and so Austin gives, they go, we can do this. And if there's some other place where you move into the park and that night you get rousted, then you won't.
That's no good.
But whatever your thoughts are about homeless, there is this water gravity thing that always exists, and that's just it, unless you have something else. So it's like, if a homeless person pitches a tent in a park on Monday night, you have to fucking show up Tuesday morning and throw them out of it. Otherwise, there's going to be 5 more on Tuesday night. And the folks that are advocates for the homeless, their thing is like, don't rouse these people. But there's never, okay, now let's go with your plan.
Right.
Like, you tell me the plan. There can't be a just, we're not doing this. There has to be a, we're not doing this and we're implementing that.
Right.
That's the biggest problems we're having, sort of, I feel like globally in our society, whether it's the southern border or whether it's like gas prices or the homeless, you can't just announce we're no longer doing this. We're no longer going to rely on fossil fuels. Okay, replace it with
so now what?
something, or no longer the homeless. Like, you must implement another plan. Just defund the police is not a plan.
Right.
Replacing the police with something else, that's a plan. We got into this weird world where we're just announcing no more. Not one more child left behind. This is a 100% smoke-free environment. And we have zero tolerance for any kind of, it's like, okay, you've made your announcement. You have zero tolerance for everything. How are you backing it up?
Yeah.
How are you enforcing your zero tolerance? By the way, it's funny. They don't have zero tolerance for homeless. They have zero tolerance for smokers.
Right. I just sent Chris and Kaylin a picture. I totally forgot about this. The other day, I walked to the gym because it's like 2 miles away, and so it's like perfect. So I don't have to stand in there and,
Where is your gym?
Coldwater and Chandler.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And so I'm
down
walking.
the tracks.
Yeah, so I'm walking and there's all this scaffolding and I come across this situation and I'm just trying to figure out what I'm looking at. I thought I got a closer picture, but I'm like trying to figure out what's in there.
It's sidewalk scaffolding like you see in New York all the time.
But
Is it a tarp
hanging
attached
off
to
of it is like a blue tarp with like a bunch of junk and stuff.
Oh, it's like a canopy.
Yeah, so I'm walking by it and I see all these books stacked up and I'm trying to read the name of the books. I don't see any person. Apparently that shadow right there sort of at the bottom is a human being. I did not know that. So I'm walking by and I'm trying to read the stack of books. I did not see a person until the dude rolls over because he saw me staring the whole time and says, "You like what you see?"
Oh, yeah. You want to break off a piece of that fucking
And I was so
scurvy-riddled
confused
homeless person.
I had so many. I didn't even know there was a human in there until he said that.
You know, the part about the homeless that we never really dissect, and we're always talking about the homeless situation and whatever these people need, there's endless amounts of trash created by the homeless. It's just literally boxes and garbage and stuff everywhere. It's so counter to what California is. Like the postcards from California,
Right.
The beach and the mountains and everything is pristine and stuff. I feel like we have more trash per square mile in this. I would vote for any fucking mayor or governor that just went, we're cleaning up the trash. We're just going to have guys out with the fucking stick
Or
and the
put it
nail
in the
it.
postcards.
Yeah, it's
A
one
little
or the
more
other.
You
authentic.
just have a homeless person in the postcard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah, you know why? Because the person that received the postcard wouldn't go, I was thinking of coming out there and flopping in Santa Monica, but now I got competition. No, you're right.
That's what you send if you don't want relatives to come visit you. You don't wish you were here.
That's
Yeah.
good.
You just buy it, and you can buy it with
Glad you're
incremental
not
trash.
here.
Exactly.
That's right.
Thank God you're not here. Yeah.
That's great.
That could replace the novelty postcard of the super fat chick in the string bikini on the beach.
Sure.
Remember those?
Yeah.
There was some sort of weird...
Oh, yeah.
There's some sort of weird obsession in the early 80s of morbidly obese chicks
Oh, dude.
on the beach.
That went to the early 90s, trust me.
Or they're hot and hanging out with Spuds McKenzie,
Right.
but there weren't a lot of fives. There were just 10s and 1s.
Irresponsibly feeding the dog beer.
That's
yeah.
right.
Or
It's legal here.
A lot of the birthday cards, it's like, I heard you like a little cleavage, and you open
Right.
it's like a butt crack.
Yeah.
A lot of those,
weird
too.
that's, yeah.
Yeah. Well, on the other side of all the Michigas in Oklahoma, billionaire philanthropist and novelist Mackenzie Scott has donated $275 million, and that's Jeff Bezos' ex, by the way, to reproductive health care,
it's funny
Planned Parenthood.
like, how are you billionaire
I know.
novelist? I've never heard of you.
That's why.
That's how you do it.
In an announcement on Medium, she detailed the latest donation to 465 organizations and institutions, including Habitat for Humanity and Boys and Girls Club of America. She divorced. Well,
what happened to Habitat for Humanity? What are they doing?
I'd like to think.
Remember
they're still
all those
around.
like
They're still around.
biodomes and biospheres, and we're going to learn to live in this.
But then the movie Biodome came out,
Right.
and
Right.
people were like, "That's not sustainable."
Yeah. Polly Shore
Yeah.
and Baldwin.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow,
Steve.
comedy duo.
Yeah.
Christy volunteered for Habitat for Humanity.
Oh, I
back then.
did-
She
I
used to
did
build
too.
houses.
Yeah.
We used to
Mexico.
and when you work corporate, you'd get a day off if you did like a volunteer day with them.
Did she go to Mexico? You said?
Yeah.
Wow.
How long was she there?
A week.
Oh my
It was
God,
I think
that's
it was
amazing.
spring break in high school, like freshman year or sophomore year or something like that.
Amazing.
In high school?
Yeah, as far as I know.
Wow.
They did
Ambitious.
offer those
Included in
things.
8th grade, but I'm pretty sure.
No,
it was high school.
they did offer that kind of stuff in high school.
You're going to go.
Oh, you know why? She went to Catholic high school. You had to have so many hours, right? For
Wow.
for at least my Catholic high school did.
You're in the 9th grade and you go to Mexico to hook up with a framing crew.
They
It's part
probably
of their
took-
missionary work.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
probably took 12 girls or 15 girls, and they built a house for a week.
Wow.
Well, of course she did.
I wouldn't want to live in that house. I like my house built by a dude named Mike with like salt and pepper in his stash, smoking a Tipperella.
Yeah.
Who's
complaining about the colored people. Like,
things
that's the
aren't
guy.
working
That
out,
guy
yeah.
can frame.
Paul Giamatti. It's not straight. My life. Yeah, how is Paul Giamatti not a contractor? You're like, hey, Paul, we're going to go out for a while. When do you think you're going to be done? Well, I was done a long time ago. Emotionally.
Well, she's given a ton of money away to these services, and because Planned Parenthood came up, and because of the news story I just read, in case you're wondering, although a lot of people don't know, they do a lot of other things. Here's a very short list of the other services at Planned Parenthood.
How are you if you're Bezos and you get this divorce and she gets billions of dollars? Do you want her giving it away, or do you want her keeping it? And then there's this part where it's like, well, you're getting a lot of that boys for giving away a lot of fucking money that he had or he gave her, but she started the business with him.
Yeah,
so
and
maybe there's some room here.
And he had some bad press last year because he wanted to like blow up a bridge so his super yacht could get through.
Oh, really?
Remember that? And I think they
Yes.
said no to that.
No, they
So-
said no.
Yeah, so they're going two different directions. But they do STD testing for men and women. They do birth control. They do just regular old routine checkups, pregnancy tests, pelvic exams, men's fertility dysfunction, cancer screening. So everybody settle down. There's a lot to be done over there. Kansas. Rock chalk, everybody. Number 1, Kansas defeated number 8, North Carolina, 72-69 in the men's college basketball championship, securing the program's 4th title and first since 2008. The Jayhawks rode a furious second half performance. I don't know if you guys watched any. I watched a little bit to overcome a 16-point deficit. Largest comeback in men's title game history. Also marked the 5th year in a row a number 1 seeded team won the championship.
The tattoo level is off the charts at college basketball now. I haven't watched it in a while. I was watching it with my son. I was like, oh, everyone's fucking tatted. It's weird because I'm picturing Jerry West and Gail Goodrich going down in like tight shorts with a belt on it,
Gail Goodrich.
with the
Pistol Pete.
pomade in their hair and stuff. Everyone's tatted.
It's different.
The hair is big. Mm-hmm. Will you guys tell me about this one? I was getting into it. I can't remember who I was talking to about it, but on the women's side, the fucking hair is out of control. It is I think I was talking to Chris about this. It is braided.
Yeah.
It is
long.
Look, all the colors of the rainbow, long ropes, and they're going down to the ass crack where Paul's GoPro is.
Right.
All the way down. Now, look, the chick is 6'4", 6'5". She's stronger and shit. She's like posting you up. If the hair is swinging around,
weapon.
aren't you gonna get a fucking face full of hair?
It's like fighting the predator.
Yeah, it's really, it is. And it's like their head's on a swivel. That shit is just a fucking nunchuck, man. It's just like flying around. they're going to kind of have to go, you got to bun it up or you got to tuck it into the jersey or like, you can find a few pictures, Chris. There was just
the hair would absolutely
fucking
help box
crazy.
out.
Yes.
It would absolutely help.
But also, I think like when you would see guys like Kobe or Michael or whoever shave their head, I know that those guys were going bald, but it's like that just felt like you wouldn't get in the way. Like when you would see the guys with really long hair, I just feel like you'd feel that like every time you were rushing down the court.
Yeah, it fucks you up.
Yeah, that's literally what I was thinking.
Yeah, there's one where the chick had like pink and blue.
Good for her.
They look cool. I'm going to tell you that. Like for me, like all their hair looks cool and the tats look great.
We got to reel it in though. Baseball pitchers are not allowed to wear different color gloves, right?
Okay.
You know that one?
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause there was a pitcher a couple of years ago who did wear like the pink glove or whatever, but
Was it for breast cancer month though?
I'm not 100% sure about that. But okay, I didn't realize.
Look at this hair on this chick.
Oh,
I mean,
Lakers
look,
hair.
she whip around. You're
I mean, that
going to
looks
fucking tear a retina.
Cool as hell to me, but
You will get a retina torn.
well, that's the thing. I wonder if one of those gets in your eye. Everybody has to wear like the old goggles from the 80s.
Right.
Yeah, Kareem. I mean, when she makes a move to the hoop, the shit's weaponized.
It's
The blast radius is
Medusa.
huge.
airborne.
Yeah.
There was a rule. Surprised Brian didn't know this one.
The pitchers, I know they're not allowed to wear like white sleeves. It interferes with the ball, right?
There was a mitt color rule too. Maybe they got rid of it. I played Little League. I had a weird green mitt, and I was told you can't pitch with the weird green mitt.
So they won't let you have a color that interferes with the ball. It has to be a dark colored mitt.
right. Can't be grass colored.
They're changing everything because remember, Michael had those shoes in the 80s where they thought that they were distracting. They were red and black, and they wouldn't let him wear the
Really?
shoes. Yeah.
I don't remember that at all.
I didn't know that either.
And so now they used to have a rule where everything needed to match your uniform, and they've abandoned that.
Oh, yeah, that's
like,
long gone.
in NBA, which is cool. And then which I like to wear is 1 and 1, so I wear one like a black shoe and a white shoe.
Sure.
And so you see NBA players do that with shoes, which I think is. I mean,
LeBron's
it's
wearing
cool.
his Space Jam shoes. They're orange and blue.
I love it. God bless him.
I think the hair's out of control. It is a thing. People are going to get it in their face and everything.
But
I think there's a
also-
cultural issue, and no one's going to say shit.
Well, what about the dinosaur? Remember from the Dilophosaurus from Jurassic Park where it makes their head look bigger, so
yeah,
they're more
sure.
like whoa? Because I mean, you see that you're gonna back out. I mean, that's like if that. I mean, that is these are fierce competitors. Like you said, they're 6'4", 6'5", stronger in hell, and then they have this blast radius here.
Yes, I
It's like
know.
you're playing Bob Ross.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're like,
Sure.
I'm like, good
Exactly.
Lord, I can't. You can't post that up.
Bob
Happy
Ross
little
posts
basket.
it up.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Throws a hip at you.
They're also, I don't know if you saw in some of those pictures, and we've talked about this with the runners, massive fake eyelashes, which are only going to impair you.
The WNBA and ladies college basketball has gone full drag fucking
Glam.
show, full glam over the last just few years.
Yeah.
I just
Big
think for
time.
wind resistance.
Yes.
Like when you see the runners, by the way, if I see a man or a woman with a shaved head, I'm like, well, that's just science, people.
Right.
That person looks,
Aerodynamic.
yeah, they look fat. And the amount of wind even on your eyelashes.
The swimmer, the best of all the swimmers was Mark Spitz. He was like, I'm going with a full 70s porn mustache in this pool. You guys can fucking shave
Imagine
your
how
shins all
fast
you
he would
want.
have been without that
That's what I'm
slash.
saying.
I
He'd
agree
have
with
a
you.
7th gold medal.
Records are still standing.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I think you'll appreciate this. After they won, everybody reaches out to me.
He's a
Yeah.
Jew, I think.
Mark Spitz?
I think so.
Okay, I believe it.
Let's verify that.
I'll claim him.
Sure. Yeah, we'll take him.
You guys have fucked the shit out of Sandy Koufax. Like, we get it. There's
Yeah.
one Jew played baseball.
You're going to
Pamphlet.
hate the text I just sent you then.
Can we move over to Mark Spitz? 6 gold.
Yeah.
If he's one of us, we'll take
He
him.
was like the greatest Olympic, just Olympian until Phelps came around.
Yeah.
Like,
Great.
He was a phenomenon.
I like what I'm hearing.
I wonder if Phelps could beat him if he had a mustache.
That's right.
Oh, you put a mustache. You
Put
that,
a pine cone on that guy's
That's right.
upper lip. There he is,
Wow.
baby. I love him.
Is he a member? Member of
He
the
is,
tribe?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
damn.
great.
Oh, you look great, baby.
red,
Yeah.
white, and blue Speedo. Trot that guy out.
I feel like, how many medals does he have on there?
I think he won 6 gold. That's what I think. Maybe 7.
1, 2, 3. That looks like 7.
It looks like 7.
By the way, that guy looks like me. I'm 7 gold medals away from that look.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Mm-hmm.
came in looking like
I
Mark
love this guy.
Spitz.
You're sparse 7 gold medals away from equaling Mark Spitz.
He looks like he shaved his chest. I definitely have I'm wearing a Robin Williams sweater underneath here. But this guy, I love it. They're like, just shave everything except that beaver stash.
Jesus Christ. If I had to picture myself greased up, shaved, buff, 7 gold, that'd be my screensaver on my computer for sure.
God.
Till death.
Oh my God.
This guy looks amazing. I love the Speedo.
Yeah. All right.
America.
Sorry, Jim.
Well, everyone was texting me that, KU won. And, I've sort of famously in my family sold my Fog Allen Stadium tickets for weed money. So I really don't, I can't claim any credit. My mom texted me last night, "Aren't you so proud?" And I said, "I'm happy for those young guys, but I assure you I had nothing to do with the win." So I'm just trying to keep it honest.
That's nice that your mom thought you were proud.
Yeah. So did I fuck her up? Should I have said, yes, I've never been more proud of anything in my life?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are any of those kids from Kansas or has ever stepped foot in the
Doubtful.
state of Kansas before they played basketball?
I just say fuck those guys because they were not allowed to ride the bus because they were always supposed to be walking. And KU's on Mount Oriad, which is a fucking climb, and they want those guys walking. They got picked up everywhere they went. The bus
really?
always pulled over. Well, we were trying to get to class.
They weren't supposed to be on the bus?
No, they were never supposed to be picked up by a bus, is what I was told, because they're supposed to be walking.
Some racist shit.
Yeah, that's true.
No, it was like not Leif Garrett. Who is our guy? Ray Fiennes. Leif Garrett.
Ray Fiennes,
Ray
the actor
Flav?
who plays the Voldemort.
That's right.
He
What
played
was
for
the
KU. A lot of people don't know that.
famous I don't know.
Danny Manning.
Sure. Anyway, Ray Flav.
Will Chamberlain, by the way, was the most famous Jayhawk.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and Danny Manning won in '88. And
Again, I take no credit for
Yeah.
the win the other night.
so when I was growing up from Chicago, like diehard Bulls fan, I'd be like, "Dad, we won," and my dad was like, "You did nothing to contribute to this win."
That's right.
That's what my father would say every time to a child.
Yes.
To a child.
What was it? I had the same bummer parents. Just everything was like, you're not this now. I mean, it's like, just go along with it.
But like guys do get a little like extra broed out. Like, we did it. You didn't do anything.
Yeah, I guess.
I think he was supportive. I think he just, you know what he was? He was trying to put things in perspective, like take credit for the things you did do, and not the credit of a group of guys who live in the same city as you.
Well, the problem with that is, I mean, those guys is it all feels very satiating. Like we did it.
Yes.
I got the jersey. And it's like, meanwhile, you're not getting on with your own fucking life.
No.
Yeah.
What are you
I agree.
celebrating?
All right.
Yeah, it's like the guys who complain who are like the so out of shape. And they're like, "Can you believe that guy missed the free throw?" Right. I was like, "What?"
I believe you would have missed the free throw.
You can't even get the Cheeto in your mouth.
I like your dad. Is he still with us?
The best.
The best.
He is the best. He looks like a wizard. He's had he has a beard down to here.
Wow, belly
and
button.
you know, he looks like when he was younger was Omar Sharif, the movie star.
Wow.
Very handsome guy and a huge mustache that would give Sam Elliott a run for his money.
Wow.
And
Really?
I've never seen his upper lip.
Wow.
My entire life, he has looked the same way, and he has this attitude. He's very not opinionated, but I was like, when I moved out here, I'm like, I went to Disneyland. Would you ever go to Disneyland? He goes, I would never go there. I said, why? He goes, because in the '60s they had a policy because he has very long hair, where he was like, they'd make you cut your hair before you go in, and I was like, is that true? And he goes, so I will never go to that theme park.
Wow.
Principles.
It's the best.
Conviction.
I love him. My favorite human.
What
Yeah.
business was he in?
He worked at Northwestern University, and he ran the automotive department, the motor pool at the university.
What?
So so he worked on cars. My entire childhood, we have a garage, but a car was never parked in there because he was trying to build a Bronco from scratch.
Oh, yeah.
You guys need to dad swap.
Yeah, like a 60s, 70s Ford Bronco.
Yeah. He was, and so his whole life he loved working on cars. He's still with us though. Yeah, he just retired.
Just the project. The thing about the project cars is they put 22 years into them. They never finish them. And at some point, there's an intervention. And you're like, we could use the garage for storage or in the
Workspace.
I'm not giving up on that. And it's like,
Mom wants to craft.
yes, you are, because
Yeah.
you're not going to finish this fucking Bronco. And they always cling to it.
He got rid of part of it. You know what
What?
was great though? It was the saddest thing. But I was in Cub Scouts, and he helped me with my Pinewood Derby, and we
There
won.
it is. There it is.
God damn, my dad.
He was like, because I wasn't really into cars as a kid, and then when we had this opportunity to do this, that was like the big thing that sort of bonded us when I was a young boy. It was cool.
Now, does he
So-
still have the Bronco?
I think he probably. I'm going to call him after this to see if he does. I think he still has pieces of it.
Scatter across
Scattered,
Europe.
yeah. Like the Infinity
The four
Stones.
corners, that's right.
Yeah, he's gonna. The gauntlet is gonna come together. But my dad was. He loved that. He loved that Bronco, and he was always in there sandblasting away. And my brother, it was great. It was great.
Is he? So I can't tell if your dad's like a bohemian artist or a blue collar, hardcore, but with the crazy beard, like a biker beard almost.
I think that he just liked, like, this is the best way I could describe him is the story that when I asked my mother and father, how did you meet? And my father, they went to Southern Illinois University.
That's where my parents met.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And what had happened was
You guys had nothing to do with that.
no. My dad just called me to tell me that.
Yeah.
And
Go Salukis.
we got in there. He said that at the time my father was dating my mother's sister's roommate, and so they came over and introduced or whatever. And he was wearing a black T-shirt that said God. And my mom goes, "Oh, you're a very religious person," because he had huge hair, big sideburns, big mustache. And he goes, "No, why would you say that?" And she goes, "Well, your shirt is a black shirt with the white letters God." And he goes, No. He goes, "I'm not religious at all. It stands for good old Dave." And his name is David. And that's why.
It does. Is it just me, or was there a lot of this guy was married to this gal or dating this gal, and then her best friend?
Yeah.
And anyway, they hit it off. Like
No better example.
The criteria for swapping was much lighter back then. I feel like
Unless you're Bo and Hunter Biden.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Horrible.
Then there's a new.
About that.
There was the. God, I think I was reading or I was watching one of those stories on. Oh God, it wasn't Mae West. They were doing like a Mae West type show. It was.
Gene Harlow.
Hold on.
It was what's her name? Yeah, like who? Who?
Mamie Van Doren.
Yeah, it was one of them. Big
Rita
busty.
Hayworth.
The one who got in a car accident. They said she got beheaded.
Oh, Jane Mansfield?
Jane Mansfield.
Jane
yeah.
Mansfield.
Mr.
It's like
Hargitay's
she
mom.
met Hargitay. He was a bodybuilder, and he was going to be one of the backups. She's putting together like an off-Broadway thing. And, this guy was married and had kids and stuff. They'd always tell the stories, like he's married, he has a couple of kids, and then he showed up to rehearsal, and from that day on,
Never
never
seen apart.
apart. And it's like, really? Not a 2-day grace period? Like, don't you have to go home and pack your shit? Like, you got kids, you got young kids and a wife. He's like,
Yeah, he's like, keep it, all of it.
they do the thing where like he fell in love with her,
Yeah.
and then that was like, there's a lot of that.
Yeah.
You're the expert, but I remember being bumped by that when I learned about Paul Newman, your beloved Paul Newman, the documentary you made. He had fell in love with Joanne Woodward, conveniently with other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were married or some nonsense to other people.
Cupid's arrow lands.
I mean, I got
We tend to
friends.
romanticize this stuff. It's like, there's some broken hearts.
I got friends where it's like, well, they were a couple, and then they were a couple, and then she ended up hooking up. She ended up with him, and then he went over to.
Boof.
It's weird.
Yeah, I can't wrap my head around that.
It is always romanticized, by the way.
Yes.
It's always like, and then they fell in love. And then you just see the angry woman in the background just cleaning a shotgun.
Right.
Yeah, it's just like, what about her? They're like, this documentary is not about her.
Oh, she's just a jaded
Yeah.
troll. Like,
Yeah.
the guy
Yes.
walked out on her.
We call that collateral damage. That's
Yeah.
her documentary.
I think Mickey Hargitay was
Yeah.
the bodybuilding dad.
Am I making this up? He was. And am I making this up out of whole cloth? Or did Vinnie Torridge tell me he used to live in Mickey Hargitay's guest house?
Sounds about
Doesn't
right.
that sound like something
That's
that's
a
real?
Vinny,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure it
That's
is.
a Vinny move.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk about Twitter because Elon Musk now owns 9.2% of it.
Can I say this?
Yeah.
Bodybuilders from I don't know, you guys tell me, the sweet spot. So there's a sweet spot, like there's an architectural sweet spot. It ain't the 70s. It's not the 80s, like the 20s and 30s. They had a beautiful architecture,
Yeah.
And then there's kind of a sweet spot, at least aesthetically, for like Formula One cars. The stuff from the 70s, like the mid 70s, they just look the best. Now there's like too much aero and computers and stuff. And even fighter jets, the Vietnam era stuff, those are the toughest looking airplanes on the plane. If you built a model, you do that. Now the stuff's a little more computerized, wind tunnel tested. They all kind of look the same, blah, blah, blah. sweet spot for bodybuilders. Now the guy's got all the veins in the quads, and they're
Juiced
so
up.
jacked up that you can't even recognize them, and it's just they're greased up, and everything's bulging out of them. Those 60s, those 50s, 60s bodybuilder guys, before all the crazed definition,
Sinewy.
with the pomade and the
Yeah.
hair and their natural tan, no spray on tan.
Yeah, you're right.
These guys look fucking hot.
As opposed to, say, like, the very smooth, barely boxers, that we've seen. Like, who's the example you've shown us, like, from, like, the 40s?
Oh, Prima Carnero or someone like
they're
that.
They're big, but they're soft looking.
Yeah, there's
Even Muhammad Ali wasn't cut.
Sure,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
there
he
was no, I'm not. I'm talking about just bodybuilders. Just who is the best.
right.
Well, that era
of-
they could go live normal lives.
Right.
Whereas now, when you see like this veiny turn up at a store, you're just like, what does that?
There's
what's going
there's
on
no
there?
pants that could be
No,
purchased.
it's
They
all
could get their
specialty
quads
made.
into.
No.
Mickey Hargitay, find me a picture of that guy in his prime. And they had that classic kind of leading man kind of look
Matinee
to him, the
idol.
right hair. They weren't all shaved head.
So, would you say that Schwarzenegger started messing that up pretty good back in the day?
Yeah, I think young Schwarzenegger, but I still think he still missed it. I feel like the guys who came in the early 60s. That's
like Charles
the sweet.
Atlas? I don't know what era he was.
Sweet. That's the sweet spot of
Agreed.
the bodybuilder.
Yeah.
The
All
old
right.
school Venice Beach look?
Yeah.
Muscle Beach?
Yeah, like you'd be in a Gidget film.
Right.
Yeah, I was.
Oh,
saying
yeah, you'd
he's
be,
holding a surfboard with
Yes.
her. Yeah.
You beat a picture holding up
Yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
like a
Right.
young lady.
And also, that guy could kick anyone's ass. Now with UFC, who the fuck knows? You know what I mean? Is
Wow.
that Mickey Hargitay? Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, he looks good.
Quite a specimen.
But that's as far as you need to go. And then so that guy was the strongest guy, and he could beat anyone's ass.
Yeah.
Now with MMA, you can get some big fat dude who's just a fucking lumbering whatever with like mad jujitsu skills,
Right.
and he'll just tap that fucking dude right out.
You can never tell. I'll tell you something crazy. When I set this off before I got in, you guys had Pablo on. So when I went to go open for Pablo in San Francisco for the first time, I was with two other comics, and we were just drunkenly eating some stuff, and you never know who can fight anymore. And this guy was sort of chasing this other guy out of a bar and screaming at him, and the guy was walking away, and I guess the guy had had enough, and he turned around and just Mike Tyson punched out this dude, but just like a normal guy.
Yeah.
But he knocked the guy unconscious. And you just think like, holy God.
Yeah,
It's like Ant-Man. How strong is this guy?
MMA has fucked up everything because it used to be that dude, the bodybuilder guy. That's the guy who could beat everyone's ass. Now it's these guys who sort of regular build, 164 pounds, fucking throwing a helicopter kick and putting their heel on your orbital socket. Like, we don't know. You can't fuck with people. And then that's one half of society, and the rest is packing.
Right.
So don't fuck with anyone is the lesson here.
Right.
They're either fucking armed up like those guys in Sacramento, or they're fucking throwing roundhouse kicks.
Yeah. And speaking of roundhouse, I was just thinking sweet spot for movies, Patrick Swayze. Because
In the movie bottom.
yeah, and like Roadhouse, like cut but thin, but like we know like that's the guy that's going to kick the shit out of
Sam
you.
Elliott
I
was
was
in
just going
Road.
to say,
He called him Miho, I think. No, did he call him Miho?
Yeah, he did. Hey, mijo.
hey, mijo, I just want to say they asked me what I need in my rider. I said I just need a trailer and my horse.
Just a horse and trailer?
Case of Coors.
Case of Coors, but I'm going to be drinking and I'm going to be feeding sugar to my horse
With your mouth?
with whatever I
Oh,
got.
God. Oh.
Yeah, he called Sam. Sam was the best cooler.
Right.
He was the mentor.
Oh, dude, he's the
Right.
best. I just watched Roadhouse.
Oh, you did?
Like, I've seen it, obviously, but it was just on the other day, and I'm like, I'm going to sit through this. I love it.
Sit through this.
Roadhouse is a great film. And there's a quality, or there's a scene in all good movies where somehow this guy was a bouncer, but everyone knew it. Mm-hmm. And that's my favorite. My favorite is that 19-year-old chicks with a fake ID at the door had heard of him.
Yeah, there's
I've
no
heard
backstory.
lore.
No,
Yeah,
'cause we all-
the movie starts.
well, yeah. And also
This fringe member of society is somehow world famous.
yeah, and also I love a guy. I marvel all the cool guys when they negotiated. There was no wiggle room. You know, they'd always pick up the phone. They go Dalton or Tana. You know, whatever their last name was. They wouldn't go hi. What should I do? They'd give their name, or they do this one. Yeah, and then they go, listen, $5,000 a night. Cash on the barrelhead, $2,500 now, $2,500 when I arrive, and then the guy go, when are you gonna be here? When can I expect you? Don't. It's like the greatest negotiator ever. I want to take this guy condo shopping. You know what I mean?
But also, they were like, guys, we need to cut down the dialogue.
Yeah.
We need to get the knife boots, more of those, and cut down the dialogue in this film.
You got to find Patrick Swayze negotiating with his new employee. Like, I feel like everyone else would be talking about personal days or like Rosh Hashanah to get time off. I'm just asking.
I have a wedding in Hawaii.
I got a wedding coming up in August. So if we
Sundays
could
are no good
carve
for
that
me.
out, Swayze lays out the price, and he won't even tell him when he's showing up.
Wow.
Don't.
Great negotiator.
Then also a part of a movie that used to be a big deal at some point, you pull the cover off the car.
Oh, yeah.
There's some point where it's like you reveal,
You
like,
meant business.
this is my real ride. That's a Batmobile. Like, I take the cover off. Okay. Yeah, he pulled in, man. And the great thing about Roadhouse is everyone who was evil looked evil, so you knew who everyone was.
Easier to tell.
There's no mistaking.
Yeah.
Oh, the bad guy at the end when they go through that crazy thing in the house and it's just the shoot him up.
Yes.
But nothing. That is one of the craziest scenes at the end.
Yeah.
When they're just like they're in this like extravagant like Bruce Wayne's
He
manor.
lives in an embassy.
Yeah, that's right. It looks like are they in the Smithsonian right now? What is going on here?
A lot of scenes bordered on the homoerotic.
Sure.
Oh
A lot
yeah,
of Swayze ass and
Bordered.
all that kind of stuff.
Full throttle.
cross that border.
They had the hot chick and then the slightly homely chick who was just dying to suck his dick the whole time, bringing him breakfast. He was also quite diverse in terms of his health regimen because when he wasn't doing Tai Chi by the lake, he'd just get up and light a cigarette.
Oh,
he'd get up in the morning and just light a cigarette. He's like, and later I'm going to do some Tai Chi by the lake. It's like, well, which is it,
Pick a lane.
Patrick? Yeah. All right. If you can find it, Chris. Where's Chris? Oh, is he not? Oh,
I'm looking for it.
Left for his
Oh,
wedding.
okay. All right. First, I'll tell you about LifeLock tax season. Always crazy, but it's going to feel even more stressful if you fall victim to scammers pretending to be the IRS, asking for personal information, bank accounts, or for you to wire them money. It's important to understand how cybercrime and identity theft are affecting our lives. Every day, we put our info at risk on the internet. In an instant, cyber criminals could harm your finances and your credit. Good thing, there's LifeLock. LifeLock helps detect a wide range of identity threats like your social security number for sale on the dark web. You'll have access to a dedicated restoration specialist if you become a victim, but you won't because you're smart and you listen to me and you got LifeLock. Right, Dawson?
No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but you can keep what's yours with LifeLock by Norton. Join now and save up to 25% off your first year with promo code Adam. Call 1-800-LifeLock or head to lifelock.com. Use promo code Adam for 25% off.
All right. Well, if we found the clip, I'll play it. But if we don't have it yet, we'll wrap it up, Max. Yeah, okay. Give me the wrap it up. Was that Scooby?
No, it's Tim Allen.
Tim Allen.
Oh, that was Tim Allen. Oh, I was looking down at a piece of paper and I thought Jonathan did that in real time. All right, Gina, we'll bring it home. Jonathan Kite's going to be in Louisville, Kentucky, coming up at the Louisville Comedy Club. That'll be May 3rd, and then Fort Wayne, Indiana, Summit City Comedy Club, May 4th and May 5th, Appleton, Wisconsin, Skyline. You can go there and see him there, and you can check out us by going to adamcarolla.com. Lots of live shows all over the place. Jonathan, always funny, my friend.
Thank you, brothers. So good to see you. Thanks
Always
for having me.
come back anytime.
Thank
Until
you.
next time, Adam Krofft, Jonathan Kite, Gina Grad, and Paul Bryan. Say it. Mahalo. It's kind
Give
of like,
people ideas. Like, oh, look at that guy.
Yeah, I don't just take it off their porch.
yeah, it's like watching animals fuck, and they just don't care.
Go on.
Well, you could get your fucking camera out and film it all you want.
They're just gonna finish.
They're balls deep in
Another penguin.
Another penguin. Is it a penguin?
I don't know.
I don't know how penguins fly.
I don't know.